Wow, Linda, what are you doing?
Oh, hi, Michelle. Well, I'm spreading joy.
Joy?
Yes, joy. You see, I'm feeling joyful, and I want to spread it around. Share it.
Oh, I see.
Michelle, I've been feeling this way for a long time.
Oh?
Yeah, ever since I was a little girl. In fact, I've been thinking about adding joy to my name.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, when I was born, my name was Linda Joan Michaels. I didn't use Joan very much, but some of my friends called me Linda Jo and sometimes LJ. When I got older, that kind of faded away. And when I married Eric, I dropped Joan, 'cause it seemed like excessive, and I don't like clutter, and I became Linda Michaels Grote.
So where does all this joy come in?
Well, I thought I'd like to bring back my Joe and add a Y, and then I can be Linda Joy. And it just feels like it fits. So all kinds of people are expressing their identity in different ways these days, so why not?
How fun. So do you want everyone to call you Linda Joy?
Only if it brings them joy.
I have no idea. Opening words come from one of my very favorite poets who happened to be a Unitarian, E.E. Cummings. These are our opening words not only because they open our time of worship, but because they are meant to open us up, to open our hearts and our minds to the possibility that we all are worthy, all finding our place in the family of things. And so I share with you this reading. I thank you, God, for most this amazing day, for the leaping greenly spirits of trees and a blue, true dream of sky, and for everything which is natural, which is infinite, which is yes. I who have died am alive again today, and this is the sun's birthday. This is the birthday of life and of love and wings, and of the gay, great happening, illimitably earth. How should tasting, touching, hearing, seeing, breathing, any lifted from the know of all nothing, human merely being, doubt unimaginable you? Now the ears of my ears awake, and now the eyes of my eyes are opened.
It is our custom when we gather to light a flaming chalice. The chalice is a cup or vessel that symbolizes the gathered community. The flame represents that spark that each one of us brings to represent the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of commitment to bring more compassion and justice to the world. I invite everyone to join me in speaking our chalice words as Sam offers the flame. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together. Thank you, Sam. Each week, as we light the chalice to symbolize the gathered community, we also acknowledge that our church is built on holy ground that was first cultivated and occupied by the Haudenosaunee, and those known as the neutrals. We honor them as the original keepers of the land. We offer this libation as our giveaway, a symbol of our respect for and deep connection with the land. May we be good stewards of the land and courageously cultivate community with all living things. Together we weave a tapestry of reverence and belonging. We are a beloved community, a gathering of people who have chosen to journey together, to encourage one another, and to be part of something important and life-changing. Because we aspire to be such a people, we make bold promises about how we will be with one another. Whether today is your first time or you've made UU Amherst your longtime home, you are invited to share in our sacred promise. Together we promise to gather in compassionate community, to celebrate diversity of thought and unity of spirit, and to seek wholeness for ourselves, our children, and the world.
Each week, we pause to bear witness to one another's joy and pain, to make room in this circle of belonging and in our hearts for all that we bring. In a moment, I'm going to invite you to come forward and to place a stone or a shell on the table labyrinth. At the table up here, you'll see there's mostly stones, a few shells. This is an opportunity for you to bring all that you bring with you into this gathered community. The joys, the sorrows, the concerns. And you can lay them down, knowing that they are held in sacred trust in this community. The table is round. It's meant to be a gathering place. Gathering is usually messy. There's almost always a, oops, excuse me, I'm so sorry. There you go. And that's all good. So we don't need to get into narrow queues and line up and very politely wait our turn. Go ahead and come to the feast. Place your stone on the labyrinth with all that you bring. I invite you to come forward. Let's share a few breaths as we expand our circle. We include all those who may not be present, but whose presence is felt. We bring into our circle of love and care those who are ill, those who are in pain, either in body or in spirit, those who are lonely, those who are overwhelmed and feeling lost, those who have been wronged. We are part of a web of life that makes us one with all humanity, one with all the universe. We are grateful for the miracle of consciousness that we share, the consciousness that gives us the power to remember, to love, and to care. May it ever be so in our lives. Blessed be. Our song of meditation is Find a Stillness, and we'll remain seated as we sing. It's 352 in your gray hymnal, and the words will also be posted up front. Find a stillness, hold a stillness, let the stillness carry me. Find the silence, hold the silence, let the silence carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony. Find the essence, hold the essence, let the essence carry me. Let me flower, help me flower, watch me flower, carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony. Flowers arrived this morning, but they're all at the back. And so I do believe we have some folks who are going to help us process the flowers down the aisle. So if you have been appointed as a processor, is that a word? Find your way to the back, and Gregory will offer some music. And here they come. Here they come. Wow, look at these flowers. What beauty, what diversity, and what a lovely example and symbol of the extravagance of life. Yep, keep them coming. Nope, keep them coming. How like the flowers we are, each unique and precious, born to bring something wonderful into the world. So I want to share with you a special flower story. Linda Joy. And my new friend Heike is going to share it with us.
So this morning's story is The Other Side of the Wall by Randy Reynolds. There was a young woman, thank you, who took great pride in the growth and care of the flowers in her flower garden. She had been raised by her grandmother, who taught her to love and care for flowers as she herself had done. So, like her grandmother, her flower garden was second to none. One day, while looking through a flower catalog she often ordered from, a picture of a plant immediately caught her eye. She had never seen blooms on a flower like that before. "I have to have it," she said to herself, and she immediately ordered it. When it arrived, she already had a nice, shady place prepared to plant it. She planted it at the base of a stone wall at the back of her yard. It grew vigorously with beautiful green leaves all over it, but there were no blooms. Day after day, she continued to cultivate it, water it, feed it, and she even talked to it, attempting to coax it to bloom, but it was to no avail. One morning, weeks later, as she stood before the vine, she contemplated how disappointed she was that her plant had not bloomed. She was giving considerable thought to cutting it down and planting something else in its place. It was at this point that her invalid neighbor, whose lot joined hers, called over to her. "Thank you so much. You can't imagine how much I have enjoyed the blooms of that vine you planted." No. The young woman walked through the gate into her neighbor's yard, and sure enough, she saw that on the other side of the wall, the vine was filled with blooms. They were indeed the most beautiful blooms she had ever seen. The vine had crept through the crevices, and although not flowering on her side of the fence, it had flowered luxuriantly on the other side of the wall, where the sun shone brighter. Just because you cannot see the good result of your labor does not mean that it bore no fruit.
Today is a special day in our church year. The Unitarian Universalist Flower Communion Service, which we celebrate today, originated in 1923 by Dr. Norbert Ĉapek, founder of the modern Unitarian movement in what is now the Czech Republic. For some time, Dr. Čapek felt the need for some symbolic ritual which would bind his congregation more closely together, and he turned to the native beauty of the countryside for elements of a communion which would be genuine to the diverse people of the congregation. The flower ceremony was brought to the United States in 1940 and introduced to the members of our Cambridge, Massachusetts church by Dr. Čapek's wife, Maja Čapek. The Czech-born Maja had met Norbert Čapek in New York City while he was studying for his PhD. And it was at her urging that Norbert left the Baptist ministry and turned to Unitarianism. The Čapeks returned to Czechoslovakia in 1921 and established a dynamic liberal church in Prague. And Maja Čapek was ordained in 1926. It was during her tour of the United States that Maja introduced the flower ceremony. Unfortunately, Maja was unable to return to Prague due to the outbreak of World War II. And it was not until the war was over that Norbert Čapek's death in a Nazi concentration camp was revealed. From this beginning, the service has spread to many of our Unitarian Universalist congregations and has been adapted along the way. At that first service in Prague, people were asked to bring a flower of their choice, either from their own gardens or from the field or roadside. Then when they arrived at church, each person was asked to place their own flower in a vase, signifying that it was by their own free will that they joined with the others. The vase that contained all the flowers was a symbol of the United Church Fellowship. Later, they were asked to choose a flower other than the one that they had brought. The significance of a flower communion is that as no two flowers are alike, so no two people are alike, yet each has a contribution to make. Together, the different flowers form a beautiful bouquet. Our common bouquet would not be the same without the unique addition of each individual flower. And thus it is with our church community. It would not be the same without each and every one of us. Thus, this service is a statement of our community. Beginning in 1923, the people of the Unitarian congregation in Prague, all the children and adults, participated in this colorful ritual, which gives concrete expression to the humanity-affirming principles of our liberal faith. When the Nazis took control of Prague in 1940, they found Dr. Čapek's gospel of the inherent worth and beauty of every person to be, as Nazi courts records show, too dangerous to the Reich for him to be allowed to live. Dr. Čapek was sent to Dachau, where he was killed the next year during a Nazi medical experiment. This gentleman suffered a cruel death, but his message of human hope and decency lives on through his flower communion, which is widely celebrated today. It is a noble and meaningful ritual we are about to recreate. This service includes original prayers and songs written by Dr. Čapek to help us remember the principles and dreams for which he died.
View the starry realm of heaven, shining distant empires sing, sky song of celestial children, turns each winter into spring, turns each winter into spring. You, the one within all forming, in my heart and mind and breath, you, my guide through hate's fierce storming, courage in both life and death, courage in both life and death.
Whenever Dr. Čapek conducted his flower communion in Prague, he would say a blessing as he consecrated the flowers. Let's share this blessing together with the left side of the room, beginning and the right side responding. And this will be the left side. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask thy blessings on these, thy messengers of love and fellowship. You remind us, amid adversities of knowledge and gifts, to be one in desire and affection, and devotion to thy holy will. May they also remind us of the value of comradeship, of doing and sharing alike. May we treasure friendship as one of the most precious gifts. May we not allow awareness of another's talents discourage us or sully our relationship, but may we realize that whatever we do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do thy work in this world. Amen.
This homily was written by my preaching professor and mentor, David E. Bumbaugh. Have you considered the flowers, the lilies of the fields? They spin not, neither do they sow, yet Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed as one of these. Say what you will about the economy of life, the serious nature of evolution, flowers are irrefutable proof of nature's extravagance. Everywhere you look, in every nook and cranny, during this season of life, the flowers are there. Spilling down a bank from a shopping mall to a parking lot, buttercups display a shower of gold for drivers who speed by too quickly to grasp the glory poured out freely for all to see. Along forest paths in dark and shaded lanes where few people ever walk, under tall trees, purple and white flowers on tall stalks proclaim the glory of life. In vacant fields where not even a worn path exists to suggest human passage, white daisies mimic the sun high in the sky, creating on earth a semblance of heaven's glory. In well-tended yards, tiny blue flowers poke their heads above the clipped and manicured grass to greet the day. 4 o'clocks keep time for the sun. Bindweed ties the world together. Sweet williams clump together like gangs of little boys. Periwinkle modestly covers the ground around houses and on sloping banks. Along every highway, a riot of color presents itself. Blue chicory, yellow mustard and mullein, white Queen Anne's lace, red and orange and russet flowers I cannot name. So long as the sun is strong, the flowers come and bloom for their season and are replaced by others. crocus to daffodil to tulip, azalea to dogwood to rhododendron, lilac to peony to rose, daisy to chicory to aster to goldenrod, one after another, filling our world with a riot of color, with beauty we cannot create, or earn, or deserve. Flowers are strangely independent creatures. Some we have domesticated as if they were cattle or sheep. They grow only at our sufferance, and they stay where we put them. In true human form, we prize them for their docility. But most flowers represent natural powers not under our control. No matter how we dig and weed and spray and curse, nothing we do can keep the dandelion out of the front lawn. The daisies come despite us and stake their claim in parking lots and ballparks and hidden corners. Even some of the tamed flowers occasionally burst through generations of conditioning, and a prim tulip suddenly appears all alone under a tree where no tulip has the business being. And a clump of iris makes a home in the forest preserve. The flowers you see do not bloom for us. They do not care whether or not we see them. They grow and bloom because they are full of life, because the history of the species impels them to display their glory, not to the world, but as part of the world, because the world would be incomplete without that riot of blossoms which expresses nature's voiceless joy in life. It is true that flowers are fragile. Their lives are short. Sometimes a wildflower taken from its root by a small hot hand does not survive to reach the kitchen door. What was a proud blossom has become a wilted shadow by the time the child presents it, a token of love, to a parent. Even when left to live out its cycle, the flower is soon gone, reminding us that nature knows nothing of permanence, that our lives, like that of the flower, are part of an endless cycle of many endless cycles, but only a part. Perhaps that is why we love flowers with a bittersweet love. We know they are a gift of grace, softening the harsh edges of reality. They invite us to seek the beauty of each moment. They encourage us to find fulfillment in life and the living of it. And they remind us that nothing is forever, that each moment with its beauty and its fulfillment passes on to another moment, with gifts to be discovered and savored. One cannot keep the moment any more than one can keep the flower. One can only rejoice and give thanks for the grace which makes this world, our home, a setting of beauty and delight, where we too may be lived by life with nothing to gain, nothing to lose, and nothing to prove. This morning, as you came to church, perhaps you brought with you a flower from your yard, from along the road, from a florist, from the rose bush by the driveway, from many different sources. These many flowers have come. Here, piled together, they symbolize the extravagance of nature. For as various as these flowers are, they do not begin to exhaust nature's inventiveness in creating forms and color and beauty. And what nature has done for flowers, nature has also done for us. We too are products of nature's extravagance. Each of us is unique. Mingled together, interacting, we do not become less unique, but rather find our uniqueness heightened. Here in this place, Here in this human community, we find the fuller dimensions of our individuality, the richer meaning of our existence, the profound delight of this world and our existence in this world. In a moment, I'm going to invite you, if you wish, to take one of these flowers. Take a flower different from the one you brought. I know you've memorized the one you brought. Take it not to keep forever and forever, because nothing is forever. Take a flower as a symbol of gratitude for beauty we did not create, of gratitude for joys which come when unexpected. Take a flower as a symbol of your participation in the community of this congregation, of your participation in the community of humankind, of your participation in the community of all living things, of your participation in the universal community. And if by chance you did not bring a flower, take one anyway. Take a flower as a symbol that beauty and grace and love are not matters of reciprocity. In this world, we cannot earn or deserve that which is most important. It comes to us as a gift. Therefore, knowing how to receive is fully as important as knowing how to give. Amen. We're going to sing, I hope. This is another song written by Norbert Ĉapek. It's number 8 in the gray hymnal, if you like to look at the notes. The words will be projected up front. We will be singing just verses 1 and 4 of Mother Spirit, Father Spirit.
Mother Spirit, Father Spirit, where are you? In the sky, sun, in the forest, sounds your cry. What to give you, what to call you, what am I? Mother Spirit, Father Spirit, take our hearts, take our breath, and let our voices sing our parts. Take our hands and let us work to shape our art.
It is now time for us to share in the flower communion. And I ask that as you come forward, that you come forward with some reverence. Give me a tiny moment. I'm going to put some of these flowers. Willa, would you help me and take some of those flowers and put them on this table? Thank you. You can go ahead and do that now. We're going to spread the joy. Amy, if you would hold one or two of the vases kind of over there. So we will have 3 stations. If you've had your eye on a certain flower, take note. It might be moving. It's okay. I know. I do that. I can't be the only one. So come forward with joy, with gentleness, and with love.
From Reverend Michelle's garden. The daisies kind of come in bunches. single. Kind of feathery one. My favorite. Yes, take it off. Unique one back here. That's also a lovely choice. There you go. Someone took the feather.
Our time together has been a celebration of this gathered community, affirming the worth of each individual and the potential that is represented by our coming together. If the only thing that brings us together is the opportunity to catch up with friends, maybe sing a song or two and feel pretty good about how dedicated we are to our principles, that's kind of sad. That would not make us much of a congregation. I think we can move into a higher place so that we're worthy to invoke the memory of Norbert Ĉapek, who was put to death because his faith was too dangerous for the Nazis to allow him to live. Imagine having a faith that is too dangerous, too compelling, too powerful in its message of love to be allowed to spread its light in a world of darkness. The world desperately needs our message of love. And I wonder, are we ready to claim our place in the great legacy that we've inherited? Are we willing to live a love beyond belief?
Just before he was put to death in Dachau, Dr. Čapek wrote this prayer, reflecting on his own life and the state of his spirit. It is worthwhile to live and fight courageously for our sacred ideals. O blow ye evil winds into my body's fire, my soul you will never unravel. Even though disappointed 1,000 times or fallen in the fight, and everything would seem worthless, I have lived among eternity. Be grateful, my soul. My life was worth living.
We have one more song to sing, because I like to sing. And so do you. You like to sing with me, and that makes me so happy. So we will be singing just as long as I have breath. It's in the Gray Hymnal number 6. I invite you to rise in body or spirit and to sing this with conviction. Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Though with pain I made my way, still with hope I meet each day. Please remind me to have you sing with great conviction more often. Wow. Please remain standing as we extinguish our chalice.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. As our service draws to an end, our service to the world is ready to begin. Let me tell you about some of the opportunities to connect and serve in the days to come. Each Sunday during the month of June, we are offering a Sunday morning Church of the Wild meditation time in the Ecology Center just beyond our parking lot. Lorraine Marcus will be waiting at the entrance on Sunday mornings at 9:30. The meditation time is 45 minutes, so you'll still have plenty of time to make it to the morning service. Are you curious about what it would be like to meditate in nature among birdsong and rustling leaves? Find out for yourself. Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. If you're unsure where the entrance to the Ecology Center is, ask me or Reverend Michelle or anyone who looks like they've been here for a while. There will be additional Church of the Wild experience next Sunday, 6/18, during the coffee hour. Naturalist, education researcher, learning experience designer, and UU, Eve Tolbert, will be offering a workshop on citizen science in the Waterhouse Ecology Center in the back half of our property. This will be an all-ages opportunity to learn how to make nature observations and create a shared project to document the species in our preserve. Eve has been working with our children and youth during their third Sunday activities. Eve promises this project will get you walking and talking in a whole new way. Singer and songwriter Jim Scott will be with us over Father's Day weekend with a multimedia concert, Year to Save the Earth, at 7 p.m. Saturday night, and special all-ages worship on Sunday. This is an excellent opportunity to invite family or friends to experience some of the magic of UU Amherst and our lively faith.
So I'm in the lead with Lori Kaznicki of the Connections team, and I'm very happy to report that it's growing, just like the flowers, with blooming faces, and we are excited about the energy that we have moving forward. It's an open invitation. Anyone that wants to join in, we have a weekly blurb in the weekly update that comes out on Fridays, and we're trying to just make sure we fold in all the activities, like Scott was just saying, all the different things that are happening. One of the biggest things that I have in my mind right now is the garden, and open invitation to anyone who wants to be part of planting the community garden and tending, watering, picking if things grow. There's a whole row of tomatoes and peppers that has been planted all along the perimeter of the daycare center playground, and we're gonna hopefully plant. The rest of the beds don't look so great, but we would love some help with that, so anybody that wants to be part of that could let me know. And I don't know if is there anything else? Okay, but if you have any ideas or thoughts or concerns, you just let me know. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Linda. Joy. Joy. Okay. So join us out front immediately following this service as we dedicate our new roadside sign. From there, we will mosey back to our beginning of summer picnic, which will be here, and all are welcome. Oh, Cheryl. I need to have Cheryl come up. Sorry about that.
I need to stand to stool. Thank you for your time. We are experiencing at the Amherst Little Free Pantry a shortage of stackers. People are moving on with life. We've got one family who's been very dedicated ever since the COVID. Thank you, Conley family, but the Conley family are both of the kids are going to college, so the circle of life continues, and it's time for someone else to take their place. Also, we've got the Circle of Life continuing on Saturday that's on Saturday. And on Sunday, we've got Doreen that's going to be retiring because she's got an elderly mother to take care of. So we've got some openings. Now, I just want to let you know, this is not a lifetime commitment. You can help, and even if you help one day a month, you could work as a team. Let's say we've got a couple of families that want to work on Sunday together. One family can take one Sunday, another family can take another Sunday, etc. Or if you want to work every single Saturday during the month, that's great too. But my phone number is in the bulletin, the weekly newsletter, so give me a call if you have any questions at all. If you want a tour of the pantry, if you want to know what it's all about, I am here, just ask. But we really need people to help, even if it's, like I said, one day a month. Yes, Linda Joy.
You mentioned in your blurb that it's only about a short amount of time commitment.
Yes, it is only about a half-hour commitment, and Pat Burke has let me know it only takes her 20 minutes. So she's got it down to a science. So, yeah, so, pardon? We will let you know, but I will let you know exactly what to do. If you can go grocery shopping, you can stock the pantry. It's really not that complicated. So please, your help would be very much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Finally, make sure you see the church newsletter, the foreword, for information regarding upcoming services and events. Hard copies are found in the lobby, and the digital version is on our website, uuamherst.org. And of course, we would be remiss if we didn't invite you to participate in supporting the mission and ministry of our church with your financial gifts. You will find a green basket at the back of the chapel to receive your contributions, or you can give online by going to our website, uuamherst.org, and click on the giving link. Or you can text your gift to the number you see on the screen. Your gifts and participation are important because we dig fruit from trees we did not plant. We drink water from wells we did not dig. This is as it should be, so long as we dig and plant for those who come after us. Your generous giving supports the work of this congregation.
Immediately following the service, for those of you who would like to join us out for the sign dedication, we're going to be going out these little side doors that maybe you've never even noticed were there, and we're going to walk across the grass, so this is kind of rough terrain, so if mobility is an issue, take that into mind. And we are going to gather on the west side of the sign. Okay, we'll be in the grass. There's lots of dirt on the other side, not so much dirt on the right side, well, whatever side this is, the west side, this side. When we return, we will not be coming back through those doors because this is beautiful carpet and you will have collected interesting pieces of lawn stuff. So I will open the portico door where the pantry is so that you can come in that way without going all the way around the church. But feel free to do that too, it's a good walk. All right. It is time for us to sing our blessing. So please rise and bow to your spirit and then remain standing for the benediction. Sing with conviction, I like it. Travel light and travel easy till I see you once again. Travel light and travel easy, and remember I'm your friend. May the road rise up to greet you as you leave your past behind. I will think about you gently, and I'll hold you in my... Now twinkle your eyes at one another as we sing the verse again. Travel light and travel easy till I see you once again. Travel light Life is short, and we do not have much time to gladden the hearts of those who travel with us. So be swift to love, and make haste to be kind. Go in peace, and follow the leaders out there.